fast for 15 hours a day and look like me, you know.
Well,
it's not me, obviously, but
just
you know, but it's ridiculous.
Hello and welcome to Grumpy Old Men. I am Grumpy and I am Mark Wogan and I am joined by two grumpy people as ever, Kev and Mike. Welcome. We're going to start off with train announcements.
Yes.
Go on, Mike.
Well, I was on a train the other day.
Were you?
Yeah.
That's unlike you.
I know. And the announcement came. There's some track trouble up ahead. This is the first.
There's a song in there somewhere.
There probably is. This was on the tube, by the way. This was not on a British rail train.
Oh.
Sort of, you know, overground train.
Was it working?
The London Underground train.
Was it hold on, Kev's got it. Kev's...
Sorry.
The Tokyo office is...
Yeah.
Sorry, Kev.
Yeah.
Kev. Was that important enough?
Medication time.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so they said it may be a little slow going into East London. I was going from West London into East London, and we got one more stop, and
Why?
the announcement said, as I've said, we don't know too much, but it may well be a good idea if you want to take an alternative method of travel. And I'm going, what do you mean?
Like your
if
feet?
you want to, is the train stopping? What's going on? Should I get off? Should I try and make my way by another means?
Do you think he was just trying to be a bit more man of the people?
I think so, which is not helpful.
No.
You just want to know, is there a problem with the train? Is it going to stop? Am I going to get to my destination?
They thought they had radios now, or ways of communicating.
Well, I'm assuming they don't have
They're not
radios.
shouting down the tunnel.
I'm
going,
assuming they've actually got, you know, online connected. You know, they've got, on most train lines now, they've got Wi-Fi. So presumably they know what's going on, right?
It doesn't work in most stations, though. Most of the tube.
Well, it works
lines
depending on where you are.
You've got previous.
Yeah,
you've got previous on trains. So you've
Yeah,
got
well,
into
just remember my
arguments.
story of the umbrella on the line.
Umbrella
It took 30 minutes to remove it. I'm coming back from football, I think it was, on the district line. The train grinds to a halt, and the driver comes on and he's like laughing about it. You won't believe this, ladies and gentlemen. There's somehow an umbrella has blown onto the line. We'll get that moved in just a second and we'll be on our way.
Sorry, was this train driver privately educated?
It took. Well, some of them are quite posh, you know.
Well, they get paid enough money.
Yeah, exactly. It's a highly paid job.
75 grand.
It took them 30 minutes to.
Can I just ask a
down.
question? Why could you not, in a train, which weighs quite a lot, run over an umbrella?
That's a good.
Yes.
You know,
this is the kind
why
of discussion we were all having.
Why-
There was a time,
You know, if
when
there
a
was-
train would just go
If there was
over
a massive, great, you know, log of wood or something, or a steel block, or
Well, didn't they used to
concrete-
have those big shovelly things
Yeah.
at the front trains?
Yeah, exactly.
That would just knock stuff out of
When
the way.
people would be tied to the
Casey Jones.
people would be tied to the rails.
A
and all that.
rolling and a running.
You didn't go, there's somebody tied to the rails, I better stop. You just ran them over.
Yeah.
Right? Because the train goes through everything. It's very heavy.
Yeah,
Right?
it's heavy,
But
and its wheels are kind of sharp. They hang on to the rails.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that there's some kind of paucity of truth when it comes to train announcements. Because this guy eventually, we went on one more stop, and he eventually had to admit that actually we've now had the line has been suspended. You may wish to find another way to get where you're going. And I'm going. So this was just recently this week. The whole of the Jubilee line was stopped for hours on end because they had some kind of problem. But if they told me before I got on the train, as opposed to once I was already on it, I could have figured out a different way of getting around.
Yeah. Jubilee line.
Yeah.
Interesting that. Well, they spend a fortune on the stations.
Yeah.
What's with the crappy trains?
I don't know. I really don't know. But there seems to be a massive problem right now with the communication of what's going on, how it's not right, and what you're supposed to do about it. They kind of leave it to you. It's almost like they want you to choose what to do next.
What you have to do, though.
And it costs a fortune.
It does cost a fortune.
The moment they say a little bit of trouble ahead, there's been a passenger who's been found sick on the, or as you say,
dead.
There's some problem at Morden or
Not
something like
necessarily
that.
dead.
Just get off the train.
Yeah.
Because they'll say we should be on our way in a little while. What that means is we won't be on our way for at least an hour.
Is this what happened when? Because didn't you get sued by something you said on a train once?
Sued?
No, you got
sued.
prosecuted.
I ended up. I was
prosecuted.
prosecuted. Not successfully.
It wasn't about the train, though. But he won his case.
No, it was an alleged punch-up.
It was on a train, though.
It was on a train, but it wasn't a tube train. And I was found innocent. But it cost me £60,000. It did.
Shocking state of affairs.
£60,000.
But you did get on the cover of The Spectator, though.
Yeah, it's the only time I've ever written for The Spectator. They loved it.
Did they pay you?
Yeah, I got £300. The headline was big. It was the front page.
Happiness.
Well, it's all dent to the 60k.
It's the kudos. The front page was "I hate crimes" by Kevin O'Sullivan.
Good. Talking of things you dislike, Facebook revealing everyone's birthday.
Yeah, I'm sick of this. So I said to my wife before I came in to do this show, she said, well, that's a stupid thing to be grumpy about, because all you have to do is to take your birthday off it and say you don't want it revealed. Whoever
Is your
does
wife
that?
privately educated as well?
Yes, she is.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
she's
she is very posh,
seriously
yeah.
privately educated. And anyway, so of course nobody does it. So all the time, Facebook's just a massive happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. You never want to put anything like that on Facebook. The other week I was furious with my privately educated wife when we went for a drink, because it was
And her friend, the train driver.
No, it was our wedding anniversary. We don't usually do much.
I saw that.
Was that on Facebook? Did you put that
She
on Facebook?
put it on Facebook,
Oh.
and I said, what have you done? And I'm
70
being very
years,
churlish,
isn't it?
because loads and loads of people came in and said, "Oh, congratulations!" But it was literally about 100 people. Boom, boom, boom. Any birthday, any anniversary, if it gets noted, recorded on Facebook or the other social media, you will be deluged. It'd be better when you didn't know each other's birthday.
Wouldn't it be worse though if you'd put all that information up there and nobody jumped in to say?
That would be embarrassing. That would be bad. Yeah.
Oh, I see. It's
But of
Mike,
course,
I
that's
see it's
why
Mike
people-
Graham's birthday.
But that's why people do it. That's why people do it, because they want some kind of, validation.
They want it back.
lonely.
No, because most people don't ever, I'm sorry to say this, but most people go through life, nobody knows who they are, nobody cares what they think, nobody gives a stuff where they live or die.
It's not easy,
right?
Mike.
And unfortunately, most of them think, because I'm on Facebook and lots of people say happy
exactly
birthday,
right.
they think they're like the greatest published author that ever walked the earth.
Yeah, but don't you remember when Facebook first started, looking at it, and I was thinking, what is this about? These sort of people are, we went to the zoo today. Oh, look, we had this meal. And it is sort of, it's glamorising, as if what happens in their life matters a flying toss.
Yeah.
It is about validation of boring lives.
Yeah, I've got a really boring life, but I've published something on Facebook and 43 people liked it.
Yeah.
Well, so whoop-de-bloody-do.
Yeah.
As
if they're having a great life. Look at, I'm having dinner with my wife. Look at the food we're having. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Here I am on holiday.
Yeah,
Good. I'm going to rob your house.
Thanks for telling us. Yeah.
I posted my holiday snaps online, and I've now got no TV.
Yes. There you go. But you've still got a house.
possession.
You've still got a house you can't sell.
All right, just move on from that. No, look. We'll just leave the house thing.
Okay.
What I want to talk about is something else that happens on social media.
Yes.
Random medical advice.
Uh-huh.
Now, this started... Your two dyed-in-the-wool newspaper men.
Yeah.
Right? And you will have been familiar with the trend, perhaps with certain newspapers. 2 glasses of wine a week will stop you having heart disease.
Yeah, that was last Sunday.
And then the next week, 3 glasses of wine a week will give you cancer.
Yeah.
It's just the endless random
Ridiculous.
medical advice.
Yeah.
And now, because we have things like Facebook and Twitter and all that, the Twitter
TikTok.
sphere, TikTok, there's people just going, yes, I find if I rub that in quite vigorously there, it never comes back.
Right.
For you, go and see a doctor.
Right.
See a proper medical professional, if you can get an appointment.
If you can get an appointment. There's a lot of diet sort of information as well, isn't there?
Diet.
Fast for 15 hours a day and look like me,
Well, I mean...
it's, well, not me, obviously, but,
just
but it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's like... but it is. It's literally every time you open up any social media, there's somebody selling you something, there's somebody telling you how to be healthier.
Don't get me wrong,
but
I like a fad as much as the next man.
Yeah.
Because, like many of us, I actually have nothing to worry about.
Right.
Right? Hence, I end up grumpy.
Yeah.
But it's when it's dangerous. That's what, it's people telling
You
you
worry about that.
things like, I found that all I did was change my diet, my cancer disappeared.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
no,
exactly,
it didn't.
yeah.
You just got lucky. Stop doing that.
Do you remember that,
Maybe
Mike?
just making it up altogether.
Yeah.
Mike, when we were in America, we'd have
Yeah.
been there at the same time. There's this big sort of along the lines of what you're saying, this big kind of story revealing that, 2 glasses of red wine a day means you'll never have a heart attack, you'll never get cancer.
Unless you have a congenital heart disease.
This sort of made all the
or
papers...
you do about 8 grams of coke at the same time.
Yeah, but it was on the telly and everything. Yeah, it's not so much that. And after that, loads and loads of Americans... Loads of Americans were found sort of absolutely paralytic in the gutter.
Well, because they can't drink.
Thought, well, if I have 2 glasses of wine, if I have 100 glasses, I'll never get sick.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, I don't know about our American friends, and, as one who doesn't...
They get a lot of random medical advice.
They get a lot of random advice, but also, they're not big drinkers.
They're really not. Also, they don't understand wine very much. I mean, if you find an American that likes wine, it's a bit like finding an American that likes a book. Not many of them,
I'm sorry to our American viewers. We love you.
Yeah, especially my ex-wife.
And loads of them, by the way, loads of Americans are very big drinkers and they're very heavy smokers.
But they're big drinkers.
They just pretend that they're not.
No, but they're big drinkers of spirits. They're not big drinkers of wine. You know how
beer. They love a beer.
They like a beer, but in this country,
why are you right about wine?
No, but in this country, we'll go to a dinner party and there'll be literally dozens of bottles of wine at the end of it. In America, what you get is people after sort of the main course, they're moving on to the whiskey, they're moving on to the brandy. They're moving on to something other than wine. Because they're not big wine drinkers.
Right,
I mean, back when I used to drink, I'd just start with the whiskey and just keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, you could pour me a glass of wine. I wouldn't drink it because I'd just have another whiskey.
You consider that to be too low-key for you?
It's just not strong enough.
I find that about beer. It's just an unsatisfying drink. It doesn't have enough of an effect. But wine works for me.
Well, look, I tell you what, we'll take a break and these two can have a whiskey or something. Welcome back to part 2 of Grumpy Old Men. I'm here, of course, with Mike and Kev, who are equally grumpy. But Mike, luxury brands.
Yeah.
What have you got? You're not a brand fan?
Well, I don't mind the occasional luxury brand.
What's your go-to? What do you?
I don't really have a...
Mike this week is mainly wearing Gucci.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that kind of thing. But occasionally, if I'm out shopping, particularly if I've had a drink. I think, I'll spend a stupid amount of money on something quite expensive.
This jacket doesn't quite fit, but it's a brilliant label.
And so, I was in...
Cost me $1,000.
I'll do it, actually, when I'm in America, because near where my sister lives, there's an outlet store. And they used to have a
Drunk outlet shopping with Mike Graham. That's a show in itself,
It used to be a Gianni Versace shop, right? Where I'd never normally go. No. I'd never go in London to a Gianni Versace shop. Well, I bought a suit once, which was a pinstripe number. It was grey with a pinstripe, but the pinstripe you could only really see in a nightclub. So when you were in a nightclub, it was like a sparkly pinstripe. Okay. It was really quite cool. Anyway, and I once bought a pair of very pointy shoes. Anyway, it's not about that. I was up in Manchester visiting
this image of
my
Mike
son.
In winkle pickers in a sparkly suit.
It's true.
Have you thought of you want to get the call for Strictly? Is that what's going on?
Strictly, no.
So what is it you don't like about luxury brands?
Well, they're too expensive.
Let's cut to the chase.
Too expensive. Sorry, you've got somewhere to go. I mean, Kev's funny. It's such a funny
Kev wants to get onto his.
I mean, all of that is a story that is a good story about your Versace suit, but we haven't sort of zoned in on what you don't like about luxury.
You've started editing the show now.
Yes, I have.
So anyway,
it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be grumpy about things.
Well, I'm grumpy.
So far, you're very happy with Versace.
Look,
yeah, but as long as I'm making you grumpy,
he's setting the grumpy scene.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so I was in Manchester recently, and it was very wet, right?
That's unusual.
Yeah, I know. But I went up in the car. I was visiting my son, and we were going to go out for dinner to a very nice restaurant in the middle of Manchester. But it was literally, the rain, it wasn't just rain, it was biblical rain, right? And I just had a jacket, and I said, you know what?
Was that this weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it on the telly, Man United playing.
Well, no, also, it was on your Twitter feed. That didn't go down well, that picture.
I put a Twitter feed out with a picture of rain. 2.8 million people, right, watched it. It was ridiculous. Anyway, so I said to him...
They weren't happy about your rainy picture.
I don't know why people get worked up. I wasn't having a go at Manchester. It was just a picture of rain. So anyway, he said, oh, yeah, we can go to the Arndale Centre. Because we were going there, it was somewhere near where we were going for dinner. So we go to the Arndale Centre, and I thought, I think I'll just buy a raincoat because I'm literally getting soaked.
Good idea.
And so I thought, as we were walking through, there was various
Kev could have got you an umbrella off some train tracks.
He could have done.
Yeah.
I went through Next. I thought, nah, don't think so. Went up some escalators, ended up seeing a Burberry shop. Burberry? No, there you
classy.
go. I've never had a Burberry raincoat. You know, I know Kev's got one, so I thought...
Kev's got 3.
He's got loads. I thought, I know, I'll get a Burberry raincoat. And I thought, what can it cost me? 400 or 500 quid?
And the rest.
So I go up to these two sort of Japanese girls who appeared to be running the Burberry shop, and they didn't have any coats. And I went, have you got any raincoats? And they went, oh, yeah. And they were sort of hidden around the back because they've got all this other crappy stuff.
Because nobody really buys them
And
anymore.
I sort of picked one out, which is what looked like an average Burberry raincoat. I said, how much is that one? And she goes, that would be 1510.
Yeah, they're 1,500
I went,
quid.
what? I said, there's 4 digits in that. She went, yeah. I said, what do you mean 1,500? And you must be joking. So in the end, I just said to this one, I'm sorry. So I went to Marks and Spencer's next door and picked one up for what I thought was going to be 95. It's going to be 89 quid.
Nice.
I got, I don't know, 6 quid off, and it looks exactly like a Burberry.
And were you dry for the rest of the weekend?
I was, actually, yeah.
You made a good move there. You didn't.
Not in the alcoholic sense.
Yeah, you made a good move
clear.
there, right?
No.
But
it kept me safe from the rain for the rest of the evening.
Has it got the St Michael's label?
I don't know.
Saint Michel.
I don't know.
Saint Michel.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I don't know. I haven't checked.
Kev, AI.
AI. So everybody, artificial intelligence.
Oh, I see that.
As I always used to say when we did TalkTV, every single time I used to call it A1.
A1.
Just see it on the auto cue and do it wrong.
The 90s pop.
So they go, oh, it's brilliant, it's brilliant. It's going to curate. You know, you're going to find everything out, and so all the, you know, like WhatsApp and Google and everything. You've got the AI option. So if you, for example, I don't know, put in, you know, who's going to win the Football League this year. You could put the AI, so the Google will say, well, these are the top teams, you know, Liverpool, Spurs, Man United, Man City, maybe.
Man United, aren't you?
Not maybe, but yeah, I'm extemporising.
Yeah.
So, but if you then press the AI option, it will say something like, there is no information available to answer your question here. And worse than this, right, I was checking last week, my team Fulham, we beat Brentford 3-1. Saturday night, by the way. I should have put that as a grump. It's 8 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday
Too
night.
late.
Yeah, well,
Too late.
Saturday night. Well, I've got a social life.
Right.
At least I didn't. But here's the point.
It's easy to be distant.
So it told us. It said. So I put who's likely to win the Fulham Brentford game. AI. They said, you know, it should be pretty good, but Fulham are not very good against Derby. They have a bad record against Derby.
Derby?
Now, it's
because they
interesting-
saw the word Derby and convert it into. So AI actually delivers to you loads and loads of false information. AI is stupid.
This is why I don't trust it. I do not trust it.
No, it's what I'm saying, Mike.
We've got
Exactly
journalists.
right.
We've got journalists at work in this building who use AI as a research tool. Right? They shouldn't do it. It's a mistake, and it's actually dangerous because what it gives you is a load of false information.
Do you know it hallucinates? Do you know what AI hallucinates?
Well, yours does.
No. AI does hallucinate. It'll deliver answers, and then it will troll through the, you know, all the available information, and it will kind of hallucinate
Is it
an answer.
microdosing? I hear that's quite popular.
No,
I think so.
No, because it's got into its kind of electrical DNA, as it were, is this absolute desire to answer your question. So if necessary, if it doesn't know, it will pull some completely rubbish information
But
out
it's interesting.
and hallucinate
It's
you an
interesting
answer.
you came up with football. So a friend of mine is writing a book about football, and he wanted some information. So he asked ChatGPT, whatever it's called, and it came back with a load of, I mean, quite frankly, balls.
Rubbish, yeah,
Just
rubbish.
balls. Wrong rubbish.
And then if you've got to check it, what's the point of having it?
So AI doesn't understand football.
And it also doesn't understand like words that can be used in two senses. For example, Derby County Football Team
There is no
and
nuance,
a
is there?
Derby.
Now,
There's no-
as two presenters and journalists of some standing, some standing, I don't know what that sum is, but some standing, some countries are replacing presenters with AI presenters.
Right.
Are we worried?
No.
No?
No, because we're not like other presenters. We don't read the news. Right? And that's what you can replace. You can replace the sort of robotic reading the
What do you
news
say?
type.
You can't replace Clive Myrie. You can't.
Yeah, you can.
Really?
Of course you can.
Oh, newsreaders you can replace
he
easily.
reads the news.
And sports presenters.
He reads the news. You can write the news and have an AI bot
What about,
read it.
I mean, if only it had come a few years earlier with Hugh Edwards.
With Hugh Edwards, yeah, you could have replaced him with a pervert.
In a Mac.
In a Mac.
Yeah.
And just done it from there. Kind of tweeting people and texting him while he's doing the news. I'll tell you what it's about.
But you're so right, mate, that journalistically, you should not touch AI with a barge pole.
It's hopeless.
It is hopeless. Hopeless. In other words, I'm sure
it's actually worse than not knowing something.
Exactly right. So if you've got to look up something on it, look it up on AI. Once you get the answer, any decent journalist, now check it, because it will probably be wrong.
It will be.
AI, as things stand right now, I think is a load of crap.
Yeah.
It's got a bit of a way to go.
A long way to go.
It's very good if you say, for example, can you give me a picture of Mike Graham in a jacuzzi with Donald Trump and Nigel Farage?
Yeah.
It could do that like that.
But why would you want that?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I think.
Because then you can post it on social media and
And
it'll be
go,
really,
"Oh."
really
Yes,
hilarious.
it'd be funny.
Yeah.
Really funny.
See,
Really
the sort of
funny.
people that do that have got to be put down, in my view.
I had this great idea.
What,
I had a great idea.
proper euthanasia with that kind of
just stop.
people who create pictures.
Yeah.
I had
They've
a
got
great
too much
idea
time
with
on their
that.
hands.
How about
But the thing
we
is,
do
the-
action man packs? How about that? So we could do an action man of you and
Yeah.
Mike. That would be a good idea, wouldn't it?
Action figures.
Action man. You've seen the action man.
Yeah, action figures.
So that
You might
went
be
on
onto
for about
something there,
Yeah,
Kev.
that went on for about a month.
Yeah.
It never was funny.
No, it never was. Although
I
the only one that was funny was In Action Man, which was Keir Starmer.
Yes.
I quite like that.
That was very good.
Yeah.
Now, barbers.
Yeah.
We're all people. You keep your hair nice and neat, as
I do.
you, Kev. I mean, look. I mean, let's face it.
I can
Both of
see
you.
that you've obviously had problems.
Well,
with
no,
that.
but I mean, both of you have found a look and have stuck with it for years. But
You're still looking for yours.
no, I like
It's a
to think of
forlorn search,
myself
isn't it?
as a work in progress.
I can see that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. However,
Long way to go.
Nice touch with the bandana.
Yeah.
but hold on.
Yeah, what is that about, by the way?
Look, all right, navy
is
blue
that?
over there. Just keep
You look like a sort of
what you've got left of your
1968 pop
hair
star.
on.
Yeah.
Right? I was thinking more David Essex on a narrow boat.
Well, that's bad enough.
Hey, it's on your winter's tale.
Okay, so barbers.
So barbers, right? Why are there so many now? Are there more haircuts happening?
No.
Because every
Turkish.
single
Turkish.
high street has at least 4 barbers
Yeah,
in it.
but there's
now.
nobody in them.
Money laundering.
What?
There's nobody.
money
You know what I mean?
laundering.
They're not actually cutting hair.
There's nobody in them. Have you ever seen anybody in them?
No.
No.
No, I had a guy
I see
called in my
men
show.
with those sort of pouches
Yeah.
with scissors in them,
Right.
standing outside smoking.
Yeah.
I had a guy
The
calling
scissors
my
in case they have to stab somebody.
Oh,
I had a guy calling my show, right? The same kind of question. He said, "Well, you know all these barbers." He said, "Well, I was walking the Turkish Barbers." He said, "I went into one the other day and said, 'Can I have a haircut?' And the guy looked really, really confused. Then he gave it his best shot. He said, "My hair was a complete mess."
but
Yeah.
but my friend Joe, who is a proper barber,
Old-fashioned.
he's very upset by all of this,
Right.
and he sort of always, whenever he posts anything up online, he always has his hashtag, which is "It takes more than 12 weeks," because that's how long a barber's course takes.
Right.
So
12
you
weeks.
can go for 12 weeks, and then at the end of that, you can happily cut people's hair.
Right.
Turns out, not.
Well,
The customer is not happy.
no, you
at
can
the end.
open up a Turkish Barbers tomorrow, right? I remember going into one here. There was used to be one underneath the building, and this guy was unbelievable. I mean, he started burning my ears, you know, with that stuff that you put.
Was he good, though?
He wasn't actually, didn't like just.
Yeah,
Well,
they did.
yeah, but
yeah.
I didn't know he was going to do any of that. I just went for a haircut. The next thing I know, I'm lying back in a chair. He puts a
Towel.
hot towel over me, wraps it around my head, starts sticking things in my ears.
Was it good
on
though?
fire.
Was it good?
Well, it was all
Was
right.
a bit much.
It was a bit over the top. I just wanted a haircut.
Yeah,
You know.
I understand he's doing a little time behind the door now.
Yeah.
But that is all for this week. Of course, thank you as ever to Kev and Mike for being grumpy. And you, stay grumpy.